cosas. Venga. Hasta luego, campeón. Ciérrame la puerta, ¿vale? Venga, pues vamos a empezar. Si no me equivoco, ¿vale? Voy a poner la segunda pantalla. Si no me equivoco, este es el... Yo este vídeo ya lo he visto, lo me sale aquí. Este creo que es el primer vídeo.
Hello guys, welcome back to the shop. Today is day 1 on the BRC Engineering 500 conversion kit. We're going to be converting this 2019 KTM 250SX 2-stroke into a 500cc bike.
Igualmente vamos a ir pasando para adelante, ¿vale? Porque es un vídeo de una hora.
Description down below, I'll put a link to where we ran through all the parts right here for the BRC Engineering kit. And the only part I didn't have when I did that run through was the cylinder, the jug, but the cylinder has arrived, so we have that. And it come with this right here. I don't know really what this is. It says something about power valve cap shield. Guess we'll figure that out as we go along. But yeah, cylinder come in.
Esto sí lo vamos a ver, ¿vale? Las piezas. Vamos a ver las piezas y lo que no es eso lo vamos pasando para adelante.
Man, it's one big cylinder. All right. Oh, wow, look at the size of them transfer ports. This thing's gonna make some power. Look how wide that exhaust port is. I don't know if you can see it in there. All right, so first thing we have to do is get that motor out of. I will say this is definitely a pretty interesting build.
Es que quiero ver sobre todo eso cómo viene. Vale, si tú compraras el kit viene así.
CDI, you name it. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. My old trusty use this one for 3. Brand new.
Yo voy pasando un poco, ¿vale? Si no.
Alright, got the seat tank and the exhaust system off. The motor mounts right here. You know how I typically do it. I like to keep the stator plug in. I just, you know, remove the cover here.
Bueno, el desmontaje del 2,5 lo podemos pasar, ¿no?
Or anytime I can avoid removing electrical.
Esto lo podemos pasar para adelante.
This is why I have this side of the motor facing me.
Lo que va a sacar es la caja de cambio y eso va a ponerla en los cárter.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that one is too.
El embrague será el mismo también, entiendo, claro.
Hopefully you're getting some entertainment out of it. Maybe learning something, or at least having a good time.
Son gallos.
Okay, I gotta.
¿Qué precio tiene el kit? Pues hemos visto ahí que el cambio a euros de una noticia antigua era unos 5.500 euros. No sabemos a día de hoy. Yo te escucho un gallo en el vídeo. No sabemos si a día de hoy. Pero ahí 5.500 ponía. Ponía $7.500 canadienses al cambio. Pero claro, la noticia era antigua también. Pero me imagino que.
It looks like we're in the clear. All we had
bueno, va a pasar
was this
rock. Desmontaje.
Someone has it very well Loctited on, which is good. And that has another one of these.
No nos interesa.
And we have this half over here.
¿Cómo ha abierto este tío el motor? A ver. Ya que estoy subiendo yo los vídeos de abrir el motor, ¿cómo lo ha abierto? ¿Porrazo?
If you hit them too hard,
lo habrá abierto porrazo, ¿no?
I didn't have to break. Okay, as you know, I always say there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's several ways we can split this motor case. You can do it the wrong way, which is take flat heads and cram it in here in the corners and pound it and force it open, which damages the cases. You can do it the right way, which is with a set of case splitters that pretty much just bolt right here and press the crank through, which pushes the other side of the case out, which I do have them. But I always try this method first because they say them case splitters, you've seen me in other videos hook them things up, man. It's just a lot going on, and most of the time it's not needed. Because a lot of times if you just take some really long bolts and you put it in one in the front of the case and one in the back and fully thread them in so you don't damage any threads, you can only hit it so hard because it'll end up bending this at some point. So you're really not going to hurt anything, but you just put them in and give it some love taps.
Venga, tío, anda.
See, it's already splitting open.
Sí, no pasa nada, pero tío. A veces lo enrosca para no dañar la rosca y sí, claro. Que va, tío.
There it is. I didn't have to break out the case splitters and spend 15 minutes.
Es que a unas malas te haces un útil con 3 chapas.
And if you start tapping it with a hammer
con
like this and it doesn't move, before you give, don't just start hitting harder and harder. If they don't start splitting pretty much within a couple taps,
incluso he visto el tornillo como está doblado. Ese tío no es el primero que abre así.
One of the case bolts here, and on some motors.
Un soportito de motor, lo vuelca.
That half.
Ahí, vamos, lo que va a sacar la caja a cambio básicamente. Pasa más
Could have
adelante.
came out before I split the cases, but no big deal. Check for washers, and look at this. We have a washer. You see it right here.
Entonces te hace falta para...
P50 rebuild that. Them cranks are in there so tight. All right, so we have the crankshaft here. She's in really good shape. Got the piston bagged up on top of it. This out of here. Well, I'll do it when I have both hands. And remove the. It appears they're asking us to remove these little ball bearings that are. If I can get this camera to focus here, let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's remove these.
La podía haber aflojado antes, ese porro, antes de sacarlo.
There it is.
KTM suele abrir muy bien porque lleva un rodamiento con pista antena independiente. Sí, no te lo discuto, pero tío, a porrazo, tío.
When people use Loctite, which you should, but find something to punch that through with.
La bomba de agua.
So I really can't touch it right now. You can see it's loose. As soon as it cools down where I can touch it, she's still hot, so I have to be real careful. Slide that off. Try to wipe that up, and I'll go put it in the freezer.
Que realmente está preparando para.
I don't know how much force you're putting on. That's such a delicate part. I didn't want to break or bend that shaft. The presses are really not on anymore. Getting a little old.
Esto no nos interesa, digamos, porque no tiene nada que ver.
No
tiene nada que ver con el BRC.
So, spaced up.
Sí, el semicárter se utiliza el mismo, ¿no? Está cambiando los retenes. Alrighty, eso vale. Sí.
Actually, I think I knocked that seal in a little bit too far. Let me see if I can ever so gently pull her back out. Yeah, she's coming out. Alright.
Puedes tener cuidado al meterlo y no meterlo tanto también, ¿eh? Ceporrín. Es un poquito bastillo, ¿eh?
There we go. That's looking better.
Madre
put
mía.
a dab of Loctite on her. Just a dab will do.
Pasa un poquito más para adelante.
Freaking nuts.
¡Guau! Los cárteres. Espera un poquito para atrás, que me he pasado.
And see, you know,
esto de la bomba.
let me go ahead and pull the power, the water pump back out.
Qué locura,
and let me slide that gear on the shaft a little bit more and see if we can't get this thing to
el mismo semicárter como vemos.
Oh, by the way, while we're talking about it, look at these cases.
Wow,
look at the
ahí está.
cylinder.
El colega no es muy curioso, no.
Jeez, that thing's huge.
Ese kit es enorme. Pretty cool, though. Es una pasada.
I mean, like I said, it's, you know, I think these kits are pretty new, so they're gonna. We're definitely gonna have to figure out a few things. You know, fix a few things. Hopefully, they don't have, you know, too many issues. But this is one we're definitely gonna have to straighten out.
Nuevo, claro, entiendo que los vídeos son antiguos, que lo mismo hay algún problema, ¿no?
So I'll break out the heat again. Get her nice and toasty again, and give her another couple wraps. I already took a measurement right here, so slide it back. I mean, yes, one is out thing on, and that's not good.
Tío, es un poco bastillo, ¿eh?
Okay, I think I have it. That's real important to note that you want to definitely test fit this. So if you have to, you got to be able to put the, you got to be able to put the clutch cover completely on. If that's binding it up, but you can see it. You can see now. I can completely put it on now with it meeting. Just if you can get, I can get the light in here to show you what I'm talking about here. You'll see that shaft right there where my finger is pointing. Let me get the light back on it. Yeah, it's just meeting the bearing. So that's where you want to set it at. But now we have to check out one, and that nut, this power valve. just to make sure nothing
Pasando, la bomba.
play. So, what if I measured it to custom do it either deeper, or when you press this clutch cover onto the. Now I set it up where it rests right on it perfectly with no
Claro,
gasket.
porque el eje trae
And the
otro
reason
eje,
I did that
entiendo,
is because
¿no?
once we have the gasket,
que es
it'll
más
pull
largo
out
para que
just a
encaje
hair,
en el
but that'll be
otro
okay.
carro.
That'll guarantee that no matter how thin of a gasket you want to bind, because you check that. It has a map sensor. I guess that's your fuel injection models or whatever, but we don't have that.
Pero después de
here,
500,
so,
de 5.000 pavos.
next page. Yeah, that's your fuel injection stuff. So we can go ahead and skip that. Here we are, Kickstarter idler gear. Let me go ahead and read this.
Dice, el tío se gasta más de 5.000 euros y lo monta por razo. Totalmente, tío. Totalmente.
Each part is. That's pretty convenient.
A ver, algún que otro porrazo y queda, pero muchas veces, ¿no? Pero, tío, hay forma y forma y porrazo, ¿no?
Instructions basically say
Se
right
coge tu
here that
martillito
the
de
stock
goma,
idler
si no te
gear,
hace
the
un
shaft
útil,
that
si te
holds it
tienes que
on,
hacer algo, yo qué sé, que siempre hay manera y
it's-
manera.
I guess it doesn't retain
Una prensa,
the
¿no?
gear
Pones
very
eso ahí,
well
le
with
metes
this
una
big
prensita.
500, so they included this one that does a better job.
El
So
kit es
let's
una
go ahead
pasada,
and get that in
A ver,
here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go heat these cases up a
Viene
little
con
bit.
su
Now
manual
it
para
causes
instalarlo.
aluminum to
Súper bien.
expand, and that should just fall right on in. Now this piece I'm putting in here has a fine lip right here.
Calor y
with a
frío,
little
tío, calor y
circlet
frío, no lo metas a porrazo.
slip in. So if you have to tap this thing in with a hand, you want to slide this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that on. So if I have to tap it with a hammer, and I'm probably going to have to tap it, some lub taps after the cases are hot. But all right. Oh,
Yo creo que lo digo, es que como lo he grabado toda la vez, creo que lo digo en el siguiente vídeo de la onda. Yo para sacar los rodamientos y todo, mira, porrazo, tío. Ay, ay, ay.
A little bit of heat, and it just falls right on in.
Yo caliento el cárter o lo que sea hasta para sacarlo, porque cuanto menos arrastre, además que lo digo, cada vez que tú cambias, a lo mejor ni se nota, ¿no? Son micras, pero cada vez que tú sacas así, vas arrastrando material, ¿sabéis lo que os digo? Entonces no hay necesidad, tío. Un poquito de calor, un poquito de frío y haces pop y lo metes. Lo metes con el dedo, no porrazo, tío, por favor. No sé cómo se llama este hombre, vamos a llamarlo Jimmy, por lo que sea, porque es americano. Jimmy, tío. No, tío, no. BRC, llámame, mándame un kit que vamos a hacer vídeos chulos.
Clip, but they're giving you this piece and basically instructing you not use a clip. So, okay. I guess they wasn't holding, and I don't know. Go crazy with the red stuff because you do want to get it back off. Find the proper Allen key for this. Oops. Duh. All right.
¿De qué? Ah, digo,
There we go.
there we go, digo, ahí algo falla. Parda, apriete, que te vendrá en el manual que te han mandado. Que una 500 de esa no vibra como
Well, pretty much all the instructions kind of end there. I guess they just cover the stuff that you know, that's kind of specific to this one. Right after idler gear, it mentions that you need a stiffer clutch spring, more power than
Claro, un embrague más rígido,
so you're going to need a
para
stiffer
la
clutch
potencia
spring.
que
I don't
tiene.
think that was included in this kit, but I'll let Matt know that he might. I'll put it together the way it is, and I mean he can ride it or whatever. But I'll let him know he's going to want a stiffer. Actually, I think I'll call him tonight if he wants me to just go ahead and order one.
Más duro,
But,
diría.
And then we have, they're, you know, showing a block on aluminum to lock up the gears, so when we go to torque them down.
Hay un útil para bloquear eso, tío,
And,
también. A ver si ahí se porro,
And it's showing here, hold on.
Esto sí me interesa, es
Yeah,
interesante.
pretty much the same thing, to wedge some aluminum in and to tighten up the clutch basket.
Dice, hasta ahí va a llegar, no hay más instrucciones.
So,
claro, en las instrucciones te pondrán lo que son cosas
I mean,
específicas de ellos, ¿no?
specs that they have, like,
Una vez que ya pongan las cosas
right
específicas
here
del
and
kit,
stuff, which we'll just leave on that
pues,
page now, 'cause
no
that's
es un
where we're
manual
headed.
como de la moto,
So
de
from here
cómo
on out,
monta el,
basically,
yo
I
qué sé,
have to use
el
my
cigüeñá, ¿no? Pues eso se supone que
years of
ya,
experience to put this
que ya
thing
lo sabes,
together.
¿no?
So let me take a look at
Que
things
no viene
here and
en
get a game plan.
las
Now that I don't
instrucciones.
have any instructions anymore. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and
Ahora lo de la bomba de agua, lo de tal, pues son cosas específicas. A ver,
I had this on there to hold that gear on the washer. So first thing I'm going to do is get the shift forks out of our way. Now I don't want to have to figure out which shift fork goes where, so you want to arrange it where you can remember that.
Yo no di porrazo, ¿vale? Pero no me pongo guantes. Podremos decir que somos los dos un poco bastos. No, ¿sabéis por qué no me pongo guantes, tío? Porque se me resbala todo mucho más y me da mucho coraje. Entonces prefiero mancharme las manos, pero agarrar bien. Es una guarrada y tengo guantes, pero no me los pongo al final. Y entonces se le mete el destornillador clavado al cárter para bloquearlo. Me compré yo un útil para bloquear la campana. Me costó creo que 10 euros, una cosa así. Se ven en los vídeos cuando lo suba de la onda. Y es una cosita así de Motion Pro y eso vale nada, tío. Y lo pones y lo bloqueas. Ahora esto vamos a pasarlo, ¿no? Que básicamente sacando el primario, secundario. Selector, toda la historia. Es que estaba dando porrazo. ¿Dónde estaba dando porrazo tú ahí? A ver. Ah, no. Era para que pudiera decir. Ya te digo. Ah, el selector, vale. Vale. Eso podemos pasar.
Well, that's an 8mm. Behind there. No, there's not. I'll set that aside right here.
Bueno, básicamente aquí montar. A montar lo de la bomba de agua y poco más, lo que estás desmontando más bien. Son de Canadá, si no me equivoco, Javi. Son canadienses. BRC. Ahora lo buscamos si quieres, pero creo que son canadienses. Aquí básicamente...
There we go. Slide right on out.
A ver.
You want to keep all this together. And as always, check for washers. There's a washer right. Transmission together. Here goes. And like unorganized, and you have to put it back apart and put it back. And you know you'll have it right. Well, I think that's a wrap for today. I'm going to stop right here. Getting tired. It's getting later in the day. And you tell you this, they have 3 choices here. You have the KTM 351 and the 451, and also the Barnett, the aftermarket one, which is 20%. Order one freezer. Get them really nice and cold. I'm going to have to slide. I'm going to go ahead and conversion.
Pues hasta ahí nuestro amigo Jimmy. Hombre, es un poco bastillo, ¿eh? Es un poco bastillo. A ver si puedo poner...